Hello, I'm Joseph Simonet. This is Argument and Movement, Part 1. We call it DNA. There's several reasons why I call it DNA, but the acronym stands for Defend, Neutralize, or Annihilate. I want to talk to you about my art. All of this comes from the slam set. In 1999, I videotaped slam set with Paladin Press. Hopefully you have that video. If you don't, go get it. Yes, it's a shameless plug, but I reference it a lot. The heart and soul of what we're going to be doing today is also represented in the slam set. The slam set is the ultimate individual training format. It's an individual on a wooden dummy, and that's your perfect training partner. This is the bookend to the slam set. This is two-person training. Once you've established expertise and knowledge and a foundational line in my basic movements from the slam set, get yourself a partner and start working this. You can do it in reverse, either way you want to do it. This art is evolving. I've trained in several different arts: Kempo, Wing Chun, Penjak Silat, Dosei Paras, Tai Chi. We've done a lot of boxing, groundwork, etc. I look at martial arts systems like models, okay? And if you want, if you're visual, you can picture one is the Eiffel Tower, one is the Golden Gate Bridge, another one's the Arch in St. Louis, and so on and so forth. Put all these structures of martial arts, and I laid them out and I looked at them. And I wandered through the piles of these particular martial arts going, which are the universal pieces? What works for the Eiffel Tower? What concept? What movement? What structure? What also works for the Space Needle? Also works for the Arch, whatever. What I've done is I've extracted universal concepts, movements, structures, attitudes, whatever, when all these pieces could intermix together. And so I took those out of the several arts that I've learned. Again, this is decades of research. It wasn't something I did over a summer. Then what I did with the remaining pieces is went and found, though indigenous to Wing Chun and to Kempo and whatever, I found how secondary pieces also fit together from the separate arts. So I went and attached as many pieces as I could, and I brought those forth. The rest of it, I bulldozed into a big pit. So now I've got universal pieces, attitudes, structures from preeminent martial arts systems, and then I got secondary pieces that also interconnect, a compendium of martial arts, as you would. Now I brought all those pieces together, and I'm building a new model, and I call it the art and science of Mukjong. And some of you, if you have some of my other videos, the ones you should pay most attention to relevant to this particular project would be the slam set. It'd be extreme Wing Chun, 6 seconds of controlled insanity, as well as the Silat series. If you see movements that I'm doing now and you say, well, gee, I saw that in extreme Wing Chun, boy, he's just repeating himself. Actually, it isn't. Orville and Wilbur Wright flew in 1903 or whatever it is. It took like 40 years before we had jet propulsion. Then it took like another 20 years after that before we went to the moon. And you can simplify it and say, well, everybody's just flying, just like Orville and Wilbur did. Or you can see there's a huge evolution. So my art is evolving all the time. So it looks like we're doing the same movement. If you look carefully, you'll see they've been tweaked. And the reason I'm doing that is in order to refine an art, you first have to define it. And that's part of the problem I have with traditional arts. It's what they've done is they put together their katas, their basics, their kumite, their one-steps, and they put it all together, and they go, okay, now we've got taekwondo, or now we've got kempo, or whatever the art may be. And they've defined their art, but through the definition of it, it becomes written in stone somewhere. Traditionally, it can't change. In fact, the irony of it is by defining it, they figured they had completed it, when in fact, it was just the first step. What I'm going to be doing today is we're going to be doing part 1 of Argument and Movement. This is more suited for street fighting. We're going to break it down piece by piece, and it's a linear form for 2 people. We're going to run it together, and so you can learn this form. Much of it, if not all of it, can be done on a wooden dummy. So if you don't have a wooden dummy, make one or buy one. It'll be very helpful. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through the entire form so that you learn it. And those of you who are like scared of forms, like, oh no, here comes a martial arts form, it's a waste of time. The forms that I teach are all street fighting applicable and contact. We dwell in the trapping, and clinching range. Once the party begins, we're making contact and we're keeping contact. You're going to see silat, you're going to see kempo, you're going to see muay thai, you're going to see dosei paras, you're going to see several different arts all mixed in, and you're going to see some new movements that I don't have a name for it. Okay? And so once we've gone through the entire form, then we're going to go back and we're going to teach you the literal street application of each specific motion and or connected technique. And then we're going to start into the what ifs, which I think you'll find quite interesting. Okay, let's get started.